Hey, what's up guys? This is Wolves. What a week! We finally managed to stabilize the project, and in this video I'm going to summarize what has happened from April 19th until today and what we are doing to mitigate the effects that it has had on the project, traders, community, your money, and everything else that you can possibly imagine. So on April 19th, we decided to launch Wolvez Token under the ticker WFFY on the Pancake Swap Exchange so that it could be traded. During the initial liquidity injection, somehow, someway, a hacker / bot injected himself into the first block and basically stole a part of the LP token. This is before the injection and in between the injection and before I could burn the LP token. He then proceeded to inject his own liquidity, buy 50% of the supply, burn 45 of it, and with that make himself a whale with over 25% of the total circulating supply. We saw that he dumped at the peak during the launch peak, and we saw that every single consecutive peak when we had our new all-time highs, this whale would proceed to dump and take profits from the community. If you look at the old chart, you will see that he did not allow any significant rise in price, which I believe would have caused us to reach many all-time highs over the 4 or 5 days during which we kept this whale. So I sat down with my 2 team members and we decided that something needed to be done. We then presented 3 options to the community. Option number 1 was just to do nothing and hope for the best. Option number 2 was to download the blockchain snapshot on the 1st of May and then manually put back all the changes that occurred before the first block was deployed, or redeploy the contract and migrate everything to it. Together with the community, we decided that number 3 was the best course of action to take, and yesterday that is exactly what we did. We launched a new contract that is a copy of the old contract with a couple of workflow modifications. What we did is that I did not renounce ownership, because that was a big mistake in the last project where I could have fixed the bot action in 5 minutes by excluding that address from the contract interactions. And the LP tokens are now burned. This will happen, of course, when we see that the project is running smoothly, that we have no outside interference, that people even in great volumes can buy and sell and trade freely. So that's out of the question. After the contract migration, it was time to re-add liquidity. Now, since I did burn LP tokens of the WFFY contract, I had no way to extract the liquidity from the old pool and put it into the new one. And here is where our community really showed confidence and trust in both the project and in me by donating 23 BNB of their own currency to me so that I could re-add this to the pool and thereby mitigate the damage which would have been much greater to the traders and to the coin. So I am extremely humbled and I'm grateful for that. Now, as we know, Murphy's Law operates in mysterious ways. So once we re-added the liquidity on the 1-inch trading pool, we then discovered that it was possible to trade BNB to Wolves, but not Wolves to BNB. And this created a whole new set of problems. Eventually, it showed that the 1-inch platform somehow was incompatible with our token. So I had to re-pull the liquidity and add it to jewel swap, or however it's pronounced, where everything seems to be working fine. And since 1inch is also reading off of the jewel swap liquidity pool, we are now actually tradable on both platforms. When we launched the new contract, I have immediately excluded a number of addresses from interacting with our coin. The reason I did that because I could extrapolate from the old contract, from the transactions, that they were involved in activities that were harming the market where Wolvez token was traded. What I also have done, because simultaneously as we were facing these difficulties with the bot and with the hacker attack, whatever it was, we had to endure a number of fudding attacks, which were, I believe, designed by a certain group of people who wanted to destroy the project. This has hindered us in driving the project forward. It has barred us from achieving the planned results that we wanted and costed me and the community money. So what I have done is I have instructed my cousin in Chicago, who is an attorney there, to research the possibility to send a subpoena to the domain provider of this group of people, so that we can find out who is behind it and who we can try to persuade to desist with their futile attempts to damage our project. I don't think there's going to be anything made of it from a criminal legal perspective. I don't even want that, because what's done, it's done. It's fine for me. But what I do need to make sure is that the people who are engaged in this activity are aware that this is a serious project that is not to be messed with unless there are serious allegations that can be proven against us, of which there are none. Tomorrow I will be talking to the local police. They showed interest in how this has gone. They want an explanation, but again, I don't think much is going to come of it. But nonetheless, if there would be a possibility to make some kind of an insurance claim of this, then it will be good for the community, and I will also keep updating, of course, on what has happened. So with that in mind, we now have a stable process going on. The community has, I was convinced that I would lose many hundreds of members of the Wolvez community, but you guys have really shown that you are a part of the Wolf pack, and I'm humbled by that. I can only be grateful for that. So you can rest assured that I will do everything in my power to not disappoint you, to bring us back to the 3 million market cap that we were at, and then to the moon and to Pluto and beyond once we get there. So what's going to happen next week? Well, I can reveal some of the things that we're going to do. We are going to have a Russian YouTuber with 24,000 subscribers do a video on us. He will be doing the video a little bit in the same style as what I'm doing now, in order to explain what has been going on, and that basically most of our issues have been fixed, which they appear to have been. Next week, Friday, we are going to release our merchandise, Wolvez merchandise shop, where the only accepted payment method will be Wolvez token. We will have a huge array of things that are Wolvez connected that you will be able to purchase, and we will have free worldwide shipping on that. Moreover, I am waiting for confirmation from the Jordan Belfort team for him to do a video where he promotes our project, which would be absolutely fantastic. Imagine having the Wolf of Wall Street promoting Wolvez Finance. I mean, that would be the marketing gimmick of the year if you ask me. But I'm biased in this, so forget it. When it comes to the technicalities of the project, I'm going to have to reapply for an audit of the contract, which is going to delay the release of it by at least a week, probably 10 days. because we released a new one and they will have to recheck. And I also want them to compare the last one with this one and see what they can come up with. I will have to reapply to CoinGecko, reapply to Hotbit, and reapply to OpenOcean. I'm going to contact them first tomorrow to cancel previous applications on the old contract. But you can rest assured that I'm not going to rest until this project is a success. After having seen your devotion to this and your willingness to put yourself out there financially and emotionally during the past week and the past 2 days, especially when we had a very turbulent period, there is no doubt in my mind that this project has a future unlike anything I've ever seen on the blockchain. I want to take the opportunity to thank you all very much for supporting me, for supporting the project, for believing in me, for putting so much trust in me that you allowed me to briefly own 74 or 75 BNB when I extracted the liquidity this morning from 1inch and transferred it to JewelSwap. I have no words for that. Thank you very much. The moon is next. Oh!